Hey guys, welcome to Albion Elementary, where we try to get new players in Albion Online into Black Zone content. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a couple different ways that I like to gain fame while I play the game. While I'm talking, I'm also going to have a video in the background playing of me doing Black Zone camps, just fame farming and making a little bit of money for myself. Black Zone camps are, in my opinion, one of the best ways to do solo content in Albion Online. Not only are they really good for fame, this is I think it's a tier 5 camp, right? And I'm making 6, 7,000 from little guys. I make, I think, closer to 13,000 per mob from the enchanted guys. If there were circle mobs at this camp, they would be worth a ton, right? And this is only a tier 5 camp. The fame is pretty good. What you're going to have to do is while you're at the camp, there's a scroll way over there in the corner that you can open that shows you the progress of the camp. You have to kill mobs equal to the amount of fame that you get from the base fame of the mob. It gives you progress towards unlocking the chest in the middle of the camp. Once the chest is unlocked, you go open it, and one of two things will happen. Either you will get loot, like you see here in the clip. I get about 100,000 silver worth of stuff, which is pretty normal for a camp. So that's one of the modes, theoretically. And the other thing that you can get is tomes. The tomes will usually come in untradeable packs of like 4 or 5, and it'll give you like tier 4s, tier 5s, and some of the group camps can give you even all the way up to tier 8 tomes. Um, if you need fame, you're not going to be upset when half of the loot is in fame because that's the whole point of what you're doing. And also you're making like a decent chunk of silver on the side. While doing camps, I usually make about 1 million silver in an hour. You see here, I make closer to almost 1 million silver in 5 minutes doing these two camps because I get really lucky. That's not normal. I would say it's much more normal to make 100,000 silver from a chest, or on the flip side, make about 150, 200,000 fame out of books. And the cool thing, excuse me, the cool thing about those books is that they can be used for items either that are too expensive to bring into Black Zone, or things that are not going to be real fun to use to fame up. Looking at you, holy staves. That's not a great way to fame farm, in my opinion. Because it is so slow, I'll use books instead on that kind of stuff. While you're out here doing camps, some of the other Black Zone content in the solo Black Zone content loop are going to be saving smugglers, which are going to give you might and favor that you can use to convert from the vendor to buy books for more fame. Or I mean, you could use that to get money too, really, if you want to. Or wagons, right? The wagons usually are seen on the map. They'll give you like a little timer before, and they'll have crates. Those crates are going to give you like 3,000 might a piece if you get the group crate ones. They're very, very worth it. And for whatever reason, not very contested. So you can do those even as an early game player to get some might, some favor, and some rep. The chests on the map while you're doing Black Zone, I typically like to avoid. They're a magnet for players, and only the bigger ones are worth like a ton of money, unless you get really lucky. And the chances are that what's going to end up happening is you're going to bump into somebody else, end up in a fight or something that you, if you're a newer player, are probably not going to win. You could, on the other hand, if you want chest loot, get a map. You'll see them either in a camp like the ones I cleared here, or they'll be in like a 4 square. And once you clear around it, you can click on it. You go to the map, and you'll kill one guy, and you'll get a chest worth of loot. That chest can either be loot or tomes, I think. Don't take my word for that. And they're generally worth it. Does not take a lot of time at all. One other thing too is while you're out here, make sure that you're leveling your gathering up. Your gathering can become a significant way to make money. I think one of the rooms earlier, I got a 6-3 blood oak full 5 ticks, and it was like 180k from one tree. So I was pretty stoked. Other than Black Zone content, some of the other stuff that can be done are static dungeons, but you need a full group for that. So I'd probably get into a guild for static dungeons. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to do that content at all. Solo dungeons, which I don't recommend at all. They're not good. The loot is terrible. They've nerfed them into the ground. Um, or soloing group dungeons. Again, I don't think that that's worth it at all. You might as well be doing Black Zone content. Stop hanging out in dungeons, guys. It looks bad. Mists. Mist content is okay. I think that it's not worth it, especially since the camps in Mists are not even close to as good as the camps in Black Zone. For whatever reason, they're not the same. While you're in Mists, if you see an Abbey, the Abbeys are usually pretty good for fame, but they're so inconsistent that I can't recommend them as a type of content to do. On the other end of things, what you can do are roads chests. If you like that roads loop, I don't personally like going to roads to do content, but the chances of you getting rolled over by like a 15-man ganking blob or something is very impossible, basically. So some players prefer that kind of stuff. Realistically, it's just, going to be whatever's up to you. You're not going to, in my opinion, get as good fame and silver together per hour than in Black Zone right now, just because camps are so good. If you have a couple of more people, you could do tracking in roads, especially if you have a higher tier of tracking. But I would not do that content unless you had at least 4 people, because tracking with 3 or less is worthless. Um, the last thing that I'll talk about here before I escape out of this nothingness is depths. Depths can be done solo or in a group, and it is a great way to get into the content, but don't use it for fame per hour because it's robbing you of Black Zone content time. I think that if you want to try to fame farm solo in depths, go to trios and maybe take an astral staff and try that. I did that with my astral staff. It took about 4 days, but it is something that you can do while you're kind of watching Netflix or whatever else it is that you're doing that you can't fully pay attention to the game. But you can't die in there. So at least there's that. But it is worse. Just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to drop them in the comments. Hit me with that like and subscribe. I'm always trying to grow the channel. Literally just started. The next video is going to be a 4.1 like full walkthrough with no spec, brand new on the EU account. So keep an eye on that. And if you have any other questions or ideas for videos, also let me know with those. And as usual, guys, I'll see you in the next one.